Guys, my name is Faisal. Welcome in another Jenkins tutorial. So we have been covering a different topic of Jenkins, like why it is important, how to install it, what is right now industry practices, and how it's solving some problems. Why it is number one choice right now, even though a lot of people have been trying to come up with a lot of ideas related to the continuous integration, continuous development concept, but still Jenkins is taking over the market. What is the reason? We have discussed a lot in previous video. You can go back, you can scroll. How to build pipelines, how to make them automate, how with respect to keeping in mind a simple application. We have practically done a lot of stuff. Today, it is time to discuss the security aspect of Jenkins, which means that it's a very sensitive and very important topic as well. Plus, we'll in the end discuss some distributed way of running Jenkins, which essentially same how its name suggests that how you run Jenkins on multiple computers or devices, nodes or resources, which means that there is need of that. Why? What is the need of that? We'll discuss later, but there is essentially need of that. Everything which is developed over the passage of time, there is always need of that. So understanding that need, make your conceptual clearance and give you intuitive understanding of stuff. That's why I will always recommend you to always get the feeling or logic that why people come up with this idea and what was not working without that. So, what was the reason that people had to invent this thing? Otherwise, and what problem it's solving additionally as compared to previous setup? When you answer these questions, you already understand the need of any technology, and then you understand its concept very well because you now get the philosophy of developing this stuff. So, in this connection, when it comes to security, there are two parts that are very important: authentication and authorization always. But this is not only specific to Jenkins, but in any setup. These two topics are always necessary. Very summarized in one-liner explanation of that. That are you authentic user? Like authentication means that who are you and who can enter into Jenkins simply, who can enter into the door. This is authentication. Authorization means once you enter into the room and or the setup, what you're authorized to do. In room number 1, 2, 3, you can go, but you cannot go to room 4, 5, floor 2, 3, whatever. So this is authorization set. You can enter into house, but you are supposed to confine to some stuff is authorization. So yeah, what you can do in the Jenkins is authorization. Some security aspect very important organization wise, very important industry wise. It has been used widely and nowadays with popularity of cloud based solutions. Active Directory, for example, or LDAP. These things was that you don't have to log in time and again for every single stuff, but you must have one sign in, and this single sign in should be workable or give you access to everything. So very similar. So there's a big building of 10 stories with different setups, and you have 10 cards, for example, 10 keys for every room and every floor. What if somebody or a housemaster give you a single key? For sure, that makes your life easy. That is the concept of Active Directory and LDAP, that you get the database of username and concept of authorization, authentication, and then that single stuff work for everything. That's how Microsoft is right now doing. So with respect to that, how you can attach some privileges to groups, if you attach it to that group, what they can do or they cannot do. Sometimes you need to restrict only some sensitive job to some people, not everybody. Then comes into picture role-based security, right? Protection. This thing we'll discuss very quickly. So let's get started. I've opened this Jenkins in one window, and this is Cognito mode to check the effect of this stuff. So if I again open this localhost and then it's asking me for username, I have to go to the manage Jenkins and then into the security, and for sure, for example, sometimes I can also say that keep me sign in. This is authentication stuff because sometimes you need not to remember the password. Well, if you do this, I don't know if only saving would do the trick or applying would do it. You see, disappeared, right? That's how the stuff work. Similarly, come down, allow user to sign up. Well, if you are into the intranet or virtual private network or web or subnetwork or internet of organization where a high firewall security is, and you first need to authorize to log into your system, is already give you authentication to that organization. Then you can sometimes say that you're good, you're safe to do stuff. You can allow people to sign up simply so that they can create their own Jenkins and you don't have to worry about. Then you see this register stuff here, right? Well, similarly, let's move forward. And for example, I don't want that. And so, well, this is the authentication. Then comes authorization, which means a lot, right? And for example, what people can do. Legacy mode, nobody would use legacy mode was old, very old Jenkins. I don't know which version, but very old version where you can just do some stuff there. That's not used anymore. Login user can do anything. Super. So when you're login, then you're kind of like admin already, and you can do anything, right? This is the second. Then comes matrix-based security, which is really widely right now used in the organizations and make a lot of sense. So here is the user group stuff. If I can widen this up, right, you can see here over the 510 different. So 510 different, for example, categories. You have different options, and this is more practical, right? An anonymous user, if you have some anonymous user which you don't want to, you know, recognize, so you can always add users right here, and also from the user side of the manage Jenkins, if I can show you. Similarly, if you come to the same surface manage Jenkins, you can always add user. For example, let us add some user source 2, 3, 3 at secondteam.com, something like that, right? And you can always give these people, some description, token, whatever you can change, right? So save it. You can Jenkins, dashboard again, manage Jenkins, and again security. And now there should be, if I really come to that, metric space, and now authenticated user can do anything. And if I write my name on the top, it is automatically now getting, um, my name from top. I can add any name, and I can also create any groups actually. And in these groups, I can add, for example, 10 different users simply, and I can say he can, for example, Faisal can is administrator. Then it has it he can do everything. If I say he is not administrator overall, then comes this permission like read. He can read the job, he can build the job. Okay, so he can discover, he can delete some jobs, he can create tags, something like that. And when I select the authorization, you know, on top of that, the most important stuff is always this one here. What is the spectrum? What is the how you say it in English? What is the alignment actually of this whatever you're selecting? Are you or do you want to confine up to only user database only? Which means that you have set up your database locally somewhere and on some virtual system or cloud system, and you are confined or you're restricted or you are storing everything in the database, and everything you're changing here is meant to apply here. The spectrum of this is here. But as you can see, there are a lot of other options are here. For example, you can say that I don't want to only use my virtual machine user, but I want to go LDAP. And LDAP is, a server where you can write the server name and port, and the communication style is, for example, LDAP. And whatever names or directory or database, maybe it could be like 100,000 number of members or something like that with different groups and a lot of advanced configuration, right? Which you can say that this is the root domain name or whatever. So this is completely a different topic of LDAP. What I have said earlier, like Active Directory, there's not much difference in Active Directory and LDAP. The only major difference is that LDAP is open source Linux-based system, and Microsoft Active Directory is developed by Microsoft like back 2006 or something like that. And now they have integrated it into the Microsoft 365 Office and Teams and whatever you see product of Microsoft many organizations are using right now. So this is the same Active Directory developed by Windows. And you can even also add the Unix and Unix-based username like Ubuntu. In Ubuntu, you see that there is always a very concrete, beautiful username management system like who is sudo user, who is not sudo user. You can add different groups, their name and everything. You can manage it in the Unix-based system. You can even configure that. And when you select that to what extent, to which kind of system it's meant to apply, this delegated server container is not much practical, but not used by many people. Right, and then actually, when you select this thing here, this advanced option change the respect, and here you can always say some stuff or do some stuff. So great. That's how the security comes into place here. And what else we should discuss here? There are some plugins as well, which gives you additional security of Microsoft Active Directory. For example, if you're afraid that there is no Microsoft Active Directory here, but it is widely used Microsoft services in the industry, and you want to integrate, not don't worry. You can just leave this here. You can go to the Manage Jenkins and then simply plugins. And if you write active directory with available plugins, active direct, there you go. Plugin enable to give you active directory, right? There are a lot of stuff you can do, Microsoft Azure or whatever. And when you come again, now you would again see, I don't know, I need to restart Jenkins or not, but in general, if I again come to the security section of that, and if I come here, now you can see that I have Active Directory option in all the advanced domains here. Right, let me think what else we can cover here. Yeah, one thing very important, which you can always see that after the metric-based security, you want to see the role-based security. For example, the overall realm we can select the up to the Jenkins only, but we say, well, great, we only want to do role-based security, which means that I only want to allow some people to do something, right? And so he can, for example, create stuff, right? And read stuff. And maybe this only save. And when I then go to, for example, any specific job here, then I can go to job and in configuration, I can enable the project-based security altogether here. So, which means that this, because I hit project role-based security button and save in the security section, now I'm able to see this project-based security for each and every project, each and every item I'm creating. Here I can do very similar stuff, but I can say that, for example, I want to restrict this job to some member only. Then if I log into the other member, he would not be able to see this. That's the stuff. For example, I only want to add source or vessel here, right? And give him right to do everything here. Rest, nobody could do this. And if I log in from the other user here, right, then he might be not able to really do this code coverage job, for example. And I don't know what was the name again, but I can see very quickly. Source2 Fessy, Source2. The user ID is Source2. Okay. Source2. 1, 2, 3. Okay. As you can see that I don't have any read permission even. Right. And wait, I can now change this permission from here. And you can see that I don't have much permission here. You see here? Because that happens because I have to, because this is project-based security, and for most of the stuff is configured to user 1, which is admin, and for user 2, a lot of stuff is hidden. And now here I add source 2, which is Fessy here, and allowed him to do everything here. I don't know. And if I go here and come here, because I have given now a lot of stuff to that user, now this user can do a lot of stuff, right? So so a lot of things need to discuss here, but this is the overall security perspective in general. What you can do, what you cannot do. And yes, so then overall you can test a lot of stuff here, but that's how the overall stuff works. So for example, here if I say that anyone can do anything, then this authentication is altogether meaningless. And if I say here that login user can do anything, but I have give the anonymous read access to everybody, and when I hit this save, and if I come to this here, right, and then everybody, and I have to log out first. So, okay. Most probably he's not gonna ask me for, well, now I'm log out again, but even there is login option to get more access. But as an anonymous user, everybody can see without login anything. There is, you can see there is no login here. I'm not logging right now. But even though there is not sign in window is coming, but everybody can see the jobs. But what is the difference? He cannot perform or click the play button here. He cannot start any job. So this is how to give somebody only read on access at anonymous level is, right? That's that. And yeah, to make things a little bit more clearer, I have created one developer and one tester. So let us segregate their builder. Actually should build the text, build the jobs, right? They both can read, but let us say that developer can create, but tester cannot create. And for execute, let us say that job configuration and job build. For example, job building we want to give to developer, but to tester we don't want to give the job building, right? And then job both can create new jobs. For example, developer can delete, but he cannot delete. Okay, so let us now as a tester, let us try to build the job. Well, this can he can build, but he cannot build. So save, and let us now as a tester try to build the job and see that our security concept works or not. And for example, login as a tester 3. Okay, well, he can not. Okay, he can pretty much do nothing. Mm. Okay. The problem was that we need to hit this button read to read them job. And if you do that as a developer and as a tester, they both can actually view the job. Now we are login as a what? Yeah, as a developer. So what developer can do? Developer can build job, right? Developer can build job, save, save. Let's go to there. Okay. Now if I refresh, as you can see, now you can see this build button. And let me then just go to security maybe, and what I can do is that I can maybe get this right back from the tester. Now let's see if the tester is able to do that or not. Tester, and we can just very quickly. Tester has overall read permission is missing. Why? Let us overall read permission give him, save, and again come back. Okay, now overall permission tester have. By right now, tester don't have any Yes, great. So as you can see now that that's how you can configure stuff with different user. As we have given different you know securities. Similarly, you can always hit here matrix-based security always, and overall you can add user and give them some rights to overall read the jobs and overall job wise to see the jobs well. And then if you want to configure some job as a specific to not visible, then this option is automatically went to this configuration, and then in the configuration you can go and on the security concept you will see here, I didn't save that for the option is not here. You will see project based security, and you can say that okay, this person or this user can see this job on top or not, and then this job will be either visible or not. Next topic we'll discuss how you can really distribute your tasks, because what happens is that there are two important things. When you're running Jenkins on some machine and it has 2 GB 5 GB RAM for example, and jobs are somehow getting bigger and bigger, and somebody run the job, and for some reason it crashes, which means that your whole dashboard where your user database all the important settings are there, and it is then hard to recover, or this is mess. To avoid that mess, what people do normally that they create one virtual machine and run only Jenkins JN related job, how job C, how job is configured, how database is configured, how user is configured, authentication, security concept, plugins, blah blah blah. Everything is in this container. And normally, what you can do, you can create a grid of nodes here, where actually what you do that. You select machine 1, machine 2, and machine 3, and you configure like some processor executor, 4 executor here, 10 here, 15 here. So this is, for example, big machine, this is not big machine. And now you can either automatically configure whatever job as far as possible, as much as possible, try to give them the job, not to job. Don't give the job to the machine, to the computer where your Jenkins is initially running, but always distribute the job. If you do the setting automatic, and then it's what it does, it's most of the time automatically configure if this memory is full simultaneously, then shift job to here. And this is a very good distributed management system of the Jenkins, which is great, right? That's what normally happens. So you have to always, I will discuss that in the second tutorial. But up to now we have covered the concept of security, role-based security. What is the security? How different grid system works? How you can add the user and stuff like that. And in the next step, we'll discuss a little bit about distributed systems. Okay, thank you very much. Bye.